right, guys. All right, all right. Can you guys still hear me? We're gonna get started. Go ahead and type one if you can hear me. Then we'll get started. I just want to make sure that sound is good. You guys can hear me, and then we're gonna have a lot of fun. All right, perfect. Okay, guys. My name is Cliff Desab. I'm gonna be hosting today's webinar. Thank you again for being here. So we're gonna get started. So what we'll do is we're gonna leave the questions for the end. That will be easier. I'll go through the entire presentation and give you guys all the information that you need. And then toward the end, I will take as many questions as you guys have. All right, sounds fun. Is that cool? Is that okay? Type yes if it's okay. Let's make this interactive. So go ahead and type yes if you're cool with that. All right, so we're gonna get started. Perfect. All right. So let's see here. We're gonna do some housekeeping, guys, because I respect your time and my time. So I want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. I want to let you know that what we're gonna go through today, it will not make you rich. You will not be able to earn $1,000 a day. This is a real customer service job that you do remotely and you get paid hourly. And also, we are not hiring people living in these 7 states: California, Connecticut, Maryland, Mass, New York, Oregon, and Wisconsin. Okay? This is because of state laws. I'm hoping that this is going to change. I've been with the company for almost 5 years now. It's always been like that. It's nothing, I guess, nothing personal, just state laws. And hopefully that changes because I get a lot of calls from people that are in these states, but unfortunately we can't hire residents from there. If you sign up from a different place and then you travel there, then you can work. But if you're a resident of these 7 states, that means you have a driver license, you have an ID from these states, then unfortunately we cannot hire, you. So also you have to be 18 years old or older, and you have to be able to pass a background check. So that means if you have a felony, you won't be hired, unfortunately, because we deal with very big companies, we deal with large brands, and they care a lot about their customers' information. So you have to be super clean in order for them to hire you. So some of the misdemeanor may pass, but I don't know because the background check is done by a third-party company. But then again, if you have a felony, then of course I wouldn't want you to waste your time. You have to be able to pass the background check. All right. So let's start the fun. So what we're gonna go through today, pretty much, I'm gonna give you the information that you need to get hired as a remote customer service agent for a large Fortune 500 company of your choice. All right. And then this is something that you can do without having any, special talents. You don't have to have any special skills, and you don't need any expensive equipment because you can do this with your existing computer that you have at home, considering it's a good working computer. And then, of course, we'll go into more details later on. All right, isn't that cool? All right. All right, so my goal is to show you the exact steps to take to start earning at least $800 to $1,000 per month part-time. And of course, you can make more if you decide to work more because it's an hourly position, like I said, working as a customer service for any Fortune 500 companies of your choice. Of course, I'm talking about companies that are in our network. And then this is going to be an extra source of income for you, or maybe the source of income, because we know what's going on right now. That can help you achieve your financial goals, better savings, and afford a vacation with your family, etc. Right now, guys, I'm an agent as well, and that's my only source of income because the other stuff that I used to do kind of like got to a stopping point. So, it used to be an extra income for me. Now it's kind of like, my only income for now. So these are a few of our current agents. This is on Google. You guys can check. These are some of our agents that are, they've been with us for over a year, a couple of months, etc. So you guys can do your own research on Google. And also, who is this for? This is for individual looking to make additional income, entrepreneurs that needs extra income while maintaining a work-life balance. When I back like 4 years ago when I started, that's what I wanted. I wanted to start my business. I didn't have any money and I needed something where I can have a steady paycheck while I'm working on my business because nothing else was working for me. Also, individual who can provide quality customer service because that's what we do, and then keep a positive attitude. So you stay at home, and then also good for stay-at-home parents, military vets, and spouses. We actually have a special for our vets and spouses as well. So when you're filling out the application, you have to let us know that you are because you get special treatments. Also, if you stay until the end, I'll have a pretty cool bonus for you guys. You won't regret it. So stick around because this is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'll tell you my little gift for you. I'm gonna present myself. My name is Cliff Desab. So I've been working from home for about 4 years now, 4+ years, and I've been recruiting people for the past 2 years. I'm still an agent, so I do both. So I'm not here to tell you something that I don't know how it works. That's how I pay my bills. As a matter of fact, like I told you, this is my only source of income right now. So I what I was looking for back then was a steady paycheck. While I work in my business, my friends pretty much make fun of me, especially back then when I was looking for some work at home, job, and then you'll see why in a few slides. And also, since I've been in that platform, I've worked with six different Fortune 500 companies because you choose who you want to work for, and then you have the flexibility to end your contract and to start working for another company. For instance, I used to serve as a roadside assistance. I didn't like it. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's just that I didn't like it, so I switched to the home improvement company at some point. So of course, I'm not special. I've done a lot of things right. You know, going back, 4 years ago, I had a 9 to 5, just like many of you. Life was okay. Of course, pretty basic. I couldn't afford some of the stuff that I wanted because I only had one source of income. It was a regular job. I mean, I was grateful. I was able to pay my bills and maintaining, a normal life. I remember back then I got a promotion. I was happy, and then there was this one day I got dressed and I was getting ready to go to work, right? Then I got an email on my phone from my boss. It was an invitation for a meeting. And then, of course, he didn't tell me anything the day before. Prior to that, then I'm thinking this is something that maybe that was a secret because that's kind of like what happened when I got promoted as well. So I was very excited. I got dressed on my way to work. I told my wife, I'm pretty sure I got another promotion at work. I was very excited. Then, of course, I showed up to work. Then this is what happened. So I was let go at my job. I still have goosebumps when I'm going through the slides. So when I showed up to my boss office, and then he told me that, so it had nothing to do with performance. It had nothing to do with, the person that I am. I'm a very good employee. I'm always committed, and he likes the way I work. So it was an upper management decision because they need to save a few millions of dollars. So they have to let go some of the seniors. I was there for 8 years, guys. So 8 years later, so they just pretty much told me that was it, the day off. They gave me a little box because I had to get my personal stuff from my desk, pictures of my kids, my family, some of my personal stuff that I had at my desk. Then pretty much, this is when the chaos began for me. So can you imagine if that happened to you? Can you imagine? So I was let go. Hey, Carla said Carla, yeah. Hey, that's what happened, Carla. So yeah, stay at your job. Don't get this little folder. This little folder is not good for you. So yeah, this is when the whole craziness and the chaos began. So like I said, I've done a lot of things, wrong. Nothing special. I've done things right. I've done things wrong. But I really didn't want from that point on, as I walked outside the building, of course, I took a little break. I wanted to kind of like absorb what just happened and kind of like see what I wanted to do, because of course I wasn't in the market for the past 8 years, so I didn't know what it was like. Then I said to myself, you know what, I don't really want to to just go look for another job and start over again and spend maybe my next 10 years at a job in just one day, they just to just let go like that. I mean, nothing against them. It's just it's business. Business is business. They had to do what they had to do at some point, and then it wasn't me alone. It was just a couple of us, and they did it in a few different departments. And that's what happened when you're a senior at a company. So that's pretty much what it is. So I really wanted to take a different route with my life. I wanted to make an impact on people's life and not simply look for another 9 to 5. Which means I wanted to build a small business and help people, right? And of course, I had no money, so I started kind of like that's when I started looking for work at home jobs that I can do while I build my small business, right? Then of course, then I pretty much discovered it the hard way, because guys, the next slide is pretty embarrassing, but I guess I have to share it because it is what it is. It's part of my story, but don't judge me. I know I was pretty stupid back then, but it is what it is. So I started looking for work at home jobs, right? And then of course I wasn't Craigslist the whole time. I wasn't, the flyer, which is a little magazine. It's a little flyer that you get in the mail every couple of days, like applying for so many different things, applying for so many jobs. And I found a couple, right? I found a couple. So of course, I got this envelope stuffing job from home. So I sent them $100 plus overnight shipping. So I sent it overnight because they specifically told me you have to send it overnight. So it cost me, I think, 20 something dollars to send that $100 money order payable to cash, right? And then of course, waited for weeks. Then I got a message back from them saying, this doesn't really exist. You send us $100. So what you do is the same ad you saw, then you're going to take that ad and do the same thing. Put up an ad yourself, and people are gonna start sending you money. So the job doesn't really exist. So, so right there, of course, I felt pretty stupid. I just and of course I would never do that, because that's just not me. I wouldn't just go around and try to take people's money like that. So I believe in working hard and anything legal. So right there, that was one out of the very few failures that I got from trying to work from home. Then I found this medical billing coding from home. I sent them $250. Then they sent me a bunch of like random study materials. So they told me that I had to study. I had to because I'm gonna take a test in 2 or 3 weeks, right? So I started studying all these random stuff that they sent me. Then 2 weeks later, I went into the website, and then the website wasn't there anymore. It just disappeared. It just was gone, 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 gone. So that was another failure. Then I had so many orders like mystery shopping, online surveys. I mean, God knows, guys. I know it's stupid. Don't judge me, but it is what it is. I have to share the story because sometimes people see that you have something working for you, but they don't know how, that the route that it takes for you to get there. So it is what it is. I mean, I guess that was part of my story. So it is what it is. But of course, then yes, I discovered um, Arise Virtual Solution, which is a company that exists since 1994. So they started back in 1994 to allow people that have some type of handicap to work from home. And then you can imagine over the years, um, this became something that, people without a handicap wanted. And then of course today, as we all know, it's like almost the only way to work, and which means, like there are, I can say they are the leader in the remote work platform. So I found them and I started working, and that's about like 4 years ago. So that's late 2016. And the funny thing is that, the stuff that are legit, they don't even cost that much. My investment was so little because they make money when people work. So they don't make money with the little fee that you're paying up front or the background check, because the background check is not even done by them. It's done by a third party company. And the guys, I've been working for 4 years now, and then you can imagine, how much money I've made since then. I mean, I used to work only part-time, so I don't make a whole lot as someone that do like full-time, but at least I make at least between, $600 to $700. I'll say 600 to 800 every 2 weeks, and that's fine because I that's the time that I could invest because I had, other stuff going on. So then that allowed me, of course, my goal was always to be able to spend more time with my family, travel. And since then, I've been able to do that, right? I like to travel. I like to go to visit different countries. I mean, me and a few friends, we try to go to at least one country every year together. Um, and then of course my little family, I have a newborn, so he's gonna turn three months actually next week. And I have my two girls and my wife. So now definitely, for the past 4 years I've been able to do just that. And this is exactly what I was after. This is why I got scammed so many times, and I'm happy that I did not give up. So thank you so much. Thank you. um yeah, so of course what makes it different is because we you guys, you're gonna get to cheat and get in the easy way, because as you know, like I just shared with you guys, you don't have to go through all that because you come straight to something that works, something that has been working for me for the past 4 years, company that exists for the past 25 years. And the good thing is also their corporate office is 15 minutes away from where I live in Miramar, Florida. So you get the exact blueprint of something that works. So you get to skip all the stuff that I've been through. Um, like I said, my work from home started in 2016. In late 2017, I started. I got promoted as a supervisor because it's not very common, but you can also get promoted as a supervisor because even though we work from home, you do have a supervisor that's there to help you to get better and becoming a better agent. So they listen to your calls on a weekly basis. They meet with you via Google Hangout or Zoom or whatever on a weekly basis to give you feedback and listen to your calls with the customers and tell you what you can do, that how you can improve, and what you did wrong, and that one call that they had the chance to listen to. So I started doing that late 2017. But then in 2018 I resigned as a supervisor. I went back as an agent. But then I started recruiting people, like just like some of you that want to work from home, because the supervisor, of course, it was taking a lot of my time, because not only I had to still work as an agent, but I had to find time to meet with agents, that I was responsible for, listen to their calls, grade the calls and write the feedbacks, meet with them, of course, give them the feedback live and send it to them via email and all. So I've been on this journey since 2018. As a matter of fact, This is not something that came to me like that. I was working. I had a business coach to help me out with my other business that I do, and I was telling him the story, and I was telling him how I got scammed and all of that, and how this helped me, because without that, maybe I would have given up already and find a job. And that's when he told me, hey, why don't you help other people to get on board. That could be a good idea, because you might have other like entrepreneurs like yourself that might need a bridge for them to keep their small business going and have some steady cash. Then I started doing that, and then I realized that it's not just entrepreneurs that need this. People also have full-time job, and they need like a part-time job. Especially you stay home and you make your own schedule, which we're going to get into those details later on. Then that's when this journey started, and I started recruiting people also, help them get on board, um, with the whole work at home opportunities. So I'm going to get more into the details here. That was just a little bit more about my embarrassing story. Isn't that exciting? All right, guys. So yeah, let's dive into a little bit more about the company, about what we do. So Work on Virtual Solution, we're a virtual call center company that offers remote work opportunities for individuals to provide quality customer service for Fortune 500 companies. And of course, while you maintain like a healthy work-life balance, right? Um, Also, there are three secrets that most people don't know, because we always have these ideas when people talk about work from home, and these are the ones that I want to talk about today, right? So you work online from home for a large Fortune 500 company of your choice. So once you register into the system, you'll see like a whole bunch of list of um, clients, like companies that are hiring at this moment, right? You get to choose who you want to work for. There's an info tab. You click on the info tab, and you'll see the type of work that you're gonna be doing. So for instance, if it's a roadside assistance client, then they'll tell you exactly you'll be receiving calls from people that are stuck on the road, that maybe lock their car keys inside the car, that run out of gas, that get stuck at some place, and then you'll help them locate where they are, and then send them a truck. All right. So you get to choose who you want to work for. So nobody can tell you. I mean, my job also, of course, as a recruiter, I can always give you some advice, since I have worked with, for a few of them. And I have agents right now, of course, that work for very like a bunch of different clients that are in the platform, right? You don't need previous call center experience. You don't need to sell anything, and you don't need to enroll anyone in the program. So this is not MLM, guys. You don't need to enroll. I'm nothing against MLM. I mean, no offense, but this is not MLM. So you're not trying to enroll someone, and it's not a pyramid where people need to be under you, and none of that. You don't need to call people and sell anything, because it's all inbound. If you have previous call center experience, it's fine, but you don't need to. And of course, one of the best skills that you have to be successful with this is, to have good customer service skills, to be a people person, not to take things personal, because of course, sometimes you get clients on the phone that are angry, and then it's nothing personal. It's just that sometimes the company rules that they don't like. We deal with a few of hotels and hotel accommodations app. We do customer service for one of the largest hotel accommodation app that's out there. And sometimes, people are not happy with the cancellation policies, with the refund policies. So of course, they get on the phone, they're pretty upset. And of course, it's your job to calm them down. Don't take it personal, and do the best that you can to help them resolve their issues. The good thing is you're not alone. So whenever you're working, whenever you're on your shift, there's a chat room with a couple of supervisors that are there to answer your questions. And depending on the client, sometimes you can set a call back. It depends really on the client, right? And then the third secret also is you don't need a big investment to get started or worrying about getting scammed, right? This is 100% risk free because with this company, it's not about that little fee that you're paying for the certification class. As a matter of fact, because of the situation right now, I see most of the companies they drop their classes to like $10, $20, something very ridiculous. But I guess it's to allow people to jump in because they know what's going on right now. So people don't really have money, and you get that refunded 100% on your first paycheck. So you pay $10 for the background check. That's from a third party company. And like I said, you cannot have a felony. If you have a felony, don't even try because I wouldn't want you to waste your $10. So you do the background check, and then once the background check comes back clean, then you can move forward with the rest of the process, right? So a little bit more about the expectations. That's me with my girls. I think we went. Um, I don't remember what day it was. I think it was last year. Yeah, 2019. So you work from home, of course, and you take inbound calls. You help customers with account inquiries, place orders, and then of course you're your own boss because let's say you cannot work for a week or two because you're traveling, then you don't need anybody's permission. You simply don't pick up any hours for that week that you're gonna be out. So you're pretty much your own boss, and of course, you need to be disciplined because if you don't work, then you don't make any money. All right, and then you get to spend more time with your family. To me, is one of the most important thing because it's one life to live, so you have to make it count. You choose the industry that you would like to service. Like I said earlier, you make your own schedule, no traveling or commute, no income limit or cap. The minimum hours that you have to work per week is 15 hours. There is no max. Now, when I say there's no max, whatever it's available. So depending on the availability of the hours for the client. So right now we have some agents that work 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. I had my cousin that was getting married a few months ago. Dude pretty much just killed himself. He was working 60 to 70 hours a week because I guess he needed the money. So it's a 1099 position, so you get a 1099 at the end of the year. So there are no deductions, there are no taxes, no insurance deductions from your paycheck. And of course, at the end of the year, you can deduct business expenses such as, home office. The fact that you work from home, you can claim part of your rent on your taxes. And of course, you got to check with your tax accountant. Then they can help you more with that, and you can also claim your internet and stuff, because if you're a 9 to 5, you cannot claim these things. But the fact that you're a 1099, so you're pretty much a self-employed, you can claim these things, which is super cool, which kind of like give you a big break for your taxes or a better return. So you need to check with your tax professional as well. So I'll tell you guys a little bit more about our structure. So we have our clients. So our clients are company outsourcing their customer contact calls, right? These are really large brands because they are the one that has a lot of calls. So once you get into the platform, you'll see, like brands that you all familiar with. You guys probably shop at these brands every day. Um, we have our partner agency, which is Arise. So Arise is a company that pretty much do all the negotiation with the contracts and all. So we don't deal with any of that. So we pretty much work with the agents. We get them on board, get them, make sure that they get on board. They have everything that they need. They get certified and they work. And also we pretty much do everything like admin related. All right. Um, And then agent CSP. So agent CSP, CSP is pretty much customer service professional. So that's how we call the agents. CSP or agent is the same thing. So these are the people like yourself, like myself, that are working and taking the calls on a regular basis. So that's pretty much just the structure, pretty simple, of how we operate. And who are our clients? And like I said, we have cable communication, we have cruise line. We actually have a lot of cruise lines, a whole lot of them. Tax industry, accounting industry. I actually, right now, I work for an accounting industry, accounting client, and I love it because I happen to use their software as well. So the fact that I kind of like got, a lot deeper, because I have to help these customers, and then I love the knowledge that I get, plus, whatever the pay that I get. So, and we also have high-end retails, roadside assistant. We have a couple, a home repair, car rental, sporting good, and theme park reservations. So these are the different clients that we have. And then of course, like there are a lot more coming on board, because Arise, their job is out there trying to find the big companies that want to use the platform, because it's better for them, because they don't need the buildings. They don't need buildings. They don't need to have, staff in place. I mean, you guys know how much it costs for, to lease a building, electricity, maintenance, insurance. I mean, you name it. So they don't have to deal with none of that. So, which make it perfect for them and for us as well. What are the qualifications to become an agent? We kind of like talking about that at the beginning, but I want to, let's go over it again. You have to be 18 years old or older. You have to communicate clearly and effectively. Basic computer knowledge. You don't have to be a computer whiz. You just have to know how to at least, check your email, go to a website, and just follow instructions, because it's regular work that you do at an office. And you have to have access to a computer, high-speed internet, and phone line. And now you could use a voice over IP. Back then, it used to be only landline. Back then, I had to get a landline, but now I use my voice over IP telephone. You have to be able to pass a background check, right? No felonies. And like I said, some misdemeanor may pass. I don't know, and I have no control over that. If you have a misdemeanor, you can try at your own risk. I mean, it's only gonna cost you $10. I mean, it's really up to you. So, all right, are you guys getting this? Does it make sense, guys? And then we're gonna adjust all the questions at the end, so you could save your questions toward the end. All right, I'm gonna answer them, I promise. All right, cool. I got a lot of yes. Perfect. All right, so benefits of contracting with us, of course, certification completion incentive. Like I said, you get whatever you spend, 20, 30, or $40 to get on, you get it back on your first paycheck. This is pretty much, a little incentive to separate the good from the bad. 24/7 support via chat. You make whatever the client pays. Incentive for military families, access to education seminars, top performer incentive for some of the clients. And you have the ability to service multiple clients also, guys. So I never recommend to take 2 trainings at the same time, because I tried it and I failed. And reason why is because when you are in training, you're in class with an instructor for 3 to 4 hours, Monday to Friday, right? Outside of that, you got to spend at least an hour, because you have some classwork that you have to do. And this classwork are stuff that you're gonna need when you start working. So when you think about it, it's easily a good 4 to 5 hours. And honestly, guys, I'm bilingual, so it takes me a little longer, because I'm not, a native English speaker, so it takes me a little longer. So I try to do 2 clients at the same time, then it didn't work. So I recommend people to take one, start working. Now, if you decide to do this full time and you don't want to do it part time, you need more hours. Let's say like your client is not able to provide 40 hours, you see that you're only getting 20, 25 max, then you can take another certification course for another client, then work for a second client. All right. And then of course, then you'll be able to do more hours. Then you could do 20 on each or 25 in each, which will give you a full-time, full-time hours. All right. Does that make sense, guys? Um, Also, you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, right? Now, talking about payment, let's go into the payroll. So like I said, you have no income cap, no max. That means if your client has 60 hours available for the week as a cap, then you work 60 hours, then you get paid for 60 hours. But the minimum, you have to respect it, which is 15 hours a week. Now, let's say you're going on vacation and you cannot work for that week, you simply don't schedule yourself. So I've been able to go on vacation for up to I'll say 2 weeks. If you're gonna do more than 2 weeks, then you might want to talk to your supervisor, because I know some of the clients, they allow different time to stay inactive. Some of them 3 weeks. I think I've done 3 weeks, but don't quote me on that because I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks and a couple of days, and then I came back, just schedule myself fine. But again, if it's gonna be more than 2 weeks, you want to talk to your supervisor and make sure that that's fine. Some of the clients also, if you're inactive for a long time, they'll give you like a catch-up class that you have to do for just a couple of hours, for you to get back, working with them. So just be mindful about that. So you can work as many hours as your client allows. Now, as far as the payroll, so the payroll fees, this is how it works. So you get paid every 2 weeks, and it's via direct deposit, right? So now you have a total of $50 per paycheck that gets deducted. So $20 per pay cycle, which is 2 weeks, is toward that's an arise fee for the platform usage, because of course they provide the platform, the VPN, everything that you need for you to connect to that client. So it's from them. And you also have a $30 admin fee from Workom, because Workom is a company that is in charge to do the admin, ongoing support, and ongoing payroll. So when you combine the 30 plus the 20, that's $50. So what that means is that if you work for 2 weeks and your paycheck is, let's say your paycheck is $650, your direct deposit will be $600. So remember, this is a 1099 position, so there's no state tax, there's no taxes at all, no insurance. So you only pay these fees. And if you don't work, let's say you go on vacation, you don't work for 2 weeks straight, then these fees does not, they don't apply, because these fees are never out of pocket. They are always from your paycheck. So if you don't work, then you don't pay these fees. These fees are only when you work. All right. I hope that makes sense. I can answer questions about that at the end. So the rates of pay varies per client. So once you get into the system, you'll see some client pays $12 an hour, 13, 14, 15. I'll say up to 18. But of course, the one that pays more, a lot of time, they're not always the one hiring. So for instance, right now, I think I was in the system earlier. We have one financial software company at 14, and I think we have roadside. We have a roadside bilingual as well, English and Spanish speaker. And also we have some clients that are French. So if you know French or if you know Spanish, sometimes you find bilingual clients where you need to speak French plus English, or you need to speak Spanish plus English, because the clients that are calling, I guess they are going to route either French speaker or Spanish speaker to you. So you get paid whatever the client pays, right? Some position consists of upsell, and you can earn incentive. So let me explain. So we have a lot of cruises, right? Let's say, you get a call from a family, from a customer, and then of course what they're doing is they want to add maybe one more person for their vacation or their reservation. Then you might be able to upsell them a bigger cabin, a bigger room. And then if you do, then you get a commission out of that. I've never worked with a client where I earn incentive, but they are available. But of course, it's your choice, whether you want to service this type of client. Because when you go to the info tab, then they'll tell you. But you still get your hourly pay. It's just that you can get bonuses. And again, I see some clients making some nice bonuses. But honestly, guys, I'm not a salesperson. Hopefully, I will be, but I'm just not. So. Um, Certification course details. Like I said, the course between 1999 to 100. I'll say 999 because, like I said, I was on the system earlier. We have 3 clients that are enrolling agents for just 999. So $10. That's all, which you also get back on your first paycheck. So it costs between $10 to 100, but the one that I don't think there's anything higher than $50 at this time. So they all drop their the certification course. And why that course? I know some people always ask. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's to separate the good from the bad, to make sure that people are really committed. Because sometimes I guess if this was 100% free, people would jump in and they will leave training, because again, the goal is to get people to work. So if people get in training and then they don't continue, then they don't get people to work and service these hours, and they don't make any money. So I guess that's what it is. And also, some of these clients, they do a second background check with that, whatever that fee that you pay, even if it's $10 or whatever. And sometimes they even ask you to do a drug test. And when you are asked to do a drug test, you don't have to pay for it. It's part of that fee that you pay for the certification class. If it's $20, it doesn't matter. $30, it still doesn't matter. You're still going. They'll give you a list for some local places where you can go and do the drug test. But not only a few clients ask for the drug test. You will see it also before you make the decision. When you click on the info tab next to the client, you will see the if they require a drug test with the background check. So most of them are just a background check. So most training have 3 phases, 3 different phases, right? Phase 1, you in the classroom with an instructor and other students for about 1 to 2 weeks. Some are a little longer. Again, it depends on the clients, because clients are not the same, the work are not the same, so the timeline could be a little different. You have phase 2 and phase 3. So phase 1 is unpaid. It's Monday to Friday. It's between 3 to 4 hours, depending on the client, in class. And you have to choose a specific time for the training. So phase 2 and phase 3, you're on the phone. They put you on the phone with real clients, and you get paid for that. But keep in mind, guys, phase 2 and phase 3 it's still training. So that means, you got to be on your best behavior because you're not certified yet. So phase 2, they'll listen to your calls, record your calls, and they'll give you feedback. Phase 3 is the same. You're still talking to customers, and that's when you get, they'll record 3 random calls, and then they'll grade you on, depending on how you're doing. So the focus a lot of time is not really whether you can answer the customer or not. It's more like how you handle the customer, because they know that some of these clients, it's a lot, and it doesn't take like a week or 2 to learn the entire job. So it's more of, can you follow instructions, follow when you're supposed to transfer or not? Because most of our clients, I say all of our clients, their processes are documented, and you also have chat room where you can ask questions. So you just have to follow follow the rules, do what you're told to do. Most of our trainers are really good trainers, so they'll teach you really what you need to do the job, right? So again, training is held in a virtual classroom with a live instructor and other students, and then you have access to clients' real system on your computer. And this is the reason why, you know, we have to do the background check, because you deal with big companies and you deal with their clients. So clients' information, you know, addresses, phone numbers. I think some of them, even if you're taking orders, maybe even credit cards and stuff. So you have to be clean. So for the training, you have to commit to a specific time. Training, we have different time slots for training. So what's available when you're choosing the client. Sometimes some of these classes are full, and then you will see that you can't select it because you'll say class full. But you can choose either 9 to 2. Some of them are 9 to 1. Again, you know, this is it depends on the client. So if you choose 9 to 2 or 9 to 1, so for the entire duration of training, you have to stick to that time. But then when you're certified, that's when you can, you know, make your own schedule and work whenever you want. So the 15 hours that you have to do, the minimum of 15 hours, you do it however you want. So you could choose today, you could choose to do 5 hours today. You can take the next day off. The day after, you could work for 1 hour or 2, and the day after, you work for 6 hours. So it depends. Like you do whatever you want. Sometimes they require maybe 1 or 2 hours on some specific days, depending on the clients. I know some of them, they want Mondays because I guess they realize that everybody, like, you know, taking Mondays off. But you know, generally you do the 15 hours however you want to. If they ask you for a specific hour for a specific day, if it's available, you do it. If it's not available, then that means they have enough people, then you're fine, right? And you get the proper training and tools needed to service the client's customer. Isn't that cool, guys? Are you guys getting this? Give me some yes. I want to make it interactive. I want to make sure you guys are not sleeping. Is it making sense, guys? Are you getting this? All right, cool. I'm getting a lot of yes. All right. I like it. All right, guys. So I know this is how you feel right now. I know this is how you feel. Am I lying? I know that's how you feel. A lot of information. I know I went through a lot. Overwhelming. So with your permission, I will go over the main points again. I mean, just for us to wrap this up, and then I will answer, you know, your questions. So again, you work online from home for a large Fortune 500 company of your choice. And we do one thing, guys. We do inbound customer service. So there's no calling out. You don't have to call people. You don't have to bug people. You don't have to try to sell anything. All right. So we do inbound customer service, period. That's all we do. All right. So you don't need previous call center experience. If you, I mean, if you have experience, then it's fine. But again, we don't sell anything. We don't enroll anyone, any type of program. Then of course, you know, once you're done with training and start taking calls, then you can say goodbye to a lot of stress. You know, stress not having extra income. Then you'll never have to worry about disposable income again. And that's one of the things I love about this. That's how I found, you know, my freedom and my success. You know, I know some of you guys can imagine what, you know, what life will be for you without having to worries, you know, about having extra cash and have all these worries and stress disappeared from your life. I mean, I'm not rich, but I, you know, by having the opportunity to earn extra income from home, that released a lot of stress. So, you know, I'm wondering, what will you do with that extra money? So with mine, you know, I saved some of it. I invested a little bit in the stock market, which of course we all know what happened now, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. But you can kind of like imagine, you know, having extra income, and, you know, you decide what will you do with that extra income. All right. So you don't need a big investment to get started or worrying about getting scammed, because you get to jump on something that worked. So it is 100% risk free. you use your existing computer, right? Windows 10, Windows 8. I think as of a couple months ago, we no longer we can no longer use Windows 7. And honestly, I was still using my Windows 7 because I'm the kind of guy, if it doesn't break, then why fix it? So I was still on my Windows 7, but now I upgraded to Windows 10, which was free anyway. So guys, I've told you how the system work, and I've shown you how you can get started in no time, and like I said, this is something where it's the what you need to get started pretty much is more of dedication, and you have to want it, and you have to want to work, because this is active income. This is not passive income, but it'll take you $20 to $30 to make this all work, but you know what, to be successful with this, you're going to need more. You'll need more than just information alone, and I know this work. I know, because I've done it for the past 4 years myself. You can be successful with this, but you're going to have your questions answered, and that's why we're here. And then you might need to stay accountable. That's one thing I do as well. The agents that I enroll, I know it's a little bit of a process, because sometimes you register and you're waiting for the class to start. So I kind of like follow up and make sure that people don't stay on track pretty much. So I take my recruiter position very seriously. So I don't let people quit. I don't let I won't let you quit on yourself. That's one thing I can promise you. So we'll definitely get through everything together. Um, so my like I said, my job is to support you, and this is not something that I can do with just videos and PDF. So again, information alone will just do it for you, right? And my success rate, I mean, I know some people have tried this on their own and then they give up at some point, and I can understand why, because I've been through the same thing. But once I work with people, I can say my success rate has been at least, like very close to 100%, because I follow up with people. I get on the phone with them if I have to explain them what they need to do next, and it's all pretty simple. Well, here's the thing though, it might be simple for me, I understand, because I've done it for so long. But then yeah, I mean, things could be a little bit confusing, but then again, that's why I'm there. So this is not, I understand this is not something that you can just Google. You need a guide that that has been there before, who can take you there right now. And that's exactly pretty much what I do. So the bonus that you get for today, like I said, you get 100% refund of the certification cost and background check, but you get that on your first paycheck. So whatever you spend to get on, which is gonna be $20, $30 or whatever, you get that back. So which make this 100% risk-free. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna tell you how to apply. And this is something special, guys, because I don't do this, because of course I would never be able to do this for everybody, unfortunately. So the first 5 people, because I'm gonna tell you how to apply, right? And this is gonna be, I mean, I guess this is gonna be a little game that we're gonna play here, because whoever is faster. So the first 5 people to sign up while we're on the webinar right now, I'll give you a link so that you can book a one-to-one success call with me. So I'll get on the phone with you so I can walk you through this like step by step. That doesn't mean that I'm not providing support for the other people. Yes, you'll be able to call us and email us. But for these 5 people, it's like I'm going to babysit you, which will give you 100% success rate as long as you want to, because this is work. I cannot really force people to work. So if you're ready to work and you apply, I will get on the phone with you. I will let you book. I'll give you a link so that you can book, a one-to-one success call with me, which means I'll walk you through this step by step. All right. So here's the link. It's very simple and quick to apply. All right. So if you're ready to change your life, you need extra cash, this is what you need to start doing. Open up your browser. It doesn't matter if it's Google Chrome, Firefox. Let me actually see if I can open mine. I'll show you. The application itself is very quick, at least the first part, right? Can you guys see my browser? Let me guys know if you could see my browser. All right, cool. All right, let me let you guys copy this first. All right. No, I'll answer the questions in a little bit. And guys, for you to apply right now, it doesn't cost you anything. Zero. It doesn't cost you a penny. The first thing that you're gonna be spending is gonna be for the background check, the $10, but you don't do that right now. So it doesn't cost you anything. You know, like I said, guys, this is not investment. So we're not trying to get money here to invest for you. We need people that are willing on working and that are ready to work, right? All right. Okay, so here's the application. Very simple and quick, right? Full name, email, phone number. Are you 18 or older? And then do you live in the 7 states? And how did you hear about us? So if someone referred you, go ahead and put their name on here. That's it. So the first 5 people to apply in this webinar tonight, you'll get to book a call with me. All right, so the link, okay, thank you. So one of my admin just put the link on there. All right, Carla. So Carla, click on the link. Go ahead and book a call with me. It's gonna be a 15-minute call. And of course, I will contact you and then I will walk you through it. I will babysit you. So we have Carla. Interesting, awesome. Yeah, so again, you know, if you're still on the fence, now is the time to just open your browser, go to workhomeonline.com and click, workhomeonline.com/apply. Workhomeonline.com/apply. Here's the link right here. I'll put both of them right here. All right, perfect. Okay, so the link is in the chat as well. And then we're gonna go to questions after this. Because I know some of you saw some of my videos already, and after the webinar, you know that you're ready to do this. And we can go through the questions after. And like, again, guys, if you're still on the fence, open your browser, you know, go to workhomeonline.com/apply and go ahead and put your application in. And then we will email you the link that you need to do to go to the next step with a PDF that has screenshots as well. And again, there's no risk. We have 100, it's 100% pretty much risk-free. And if you're looking for extra income, then you need to get started right now. If you need passive income, you're not ready to work, then this is not for you. Because honestly, guys, I'm an agent myself, and when I work, when I get into my phone, then I get calls. I work, but it is what it is. I'm grateful because at least I didn't get affected too much financially with this going on right now. Well, yeah, I got affected with the other stuff that I do, but I as far as my working from home, then it's still working for me. So Elaine, I applied yesterday. I'm not seeing another link to schedule the call. Carla, the one that says Calendly. So admin, please, you could send it to Carla, maybe send it directly. Galaxy S8. I don't have a name, but Galaxy S8. Click on the link also. NTIC applied as well. NTIC, go ahead and click on the link. You see where it says calendly.com. So I think we only have 2 more spots. Yes, Christine, unfortunately, we don't work with Maryland. It's because of state laws. I hope this is gonna change, but ever since I joined, it's been like that. We have 7 states where we cannot hire people from. If you're in California, New York, Maryland, Connecticut, Wisconsin, Oregon, um, Mass, unfortunately, we cannot hire you. All right, so NC, go ahead and click on the link to schedule your one-to-one with me. Can you use Google Chromebook laptop? Me, no, I don't think so, because you have to download the VPN when you're working, so you need Windows. I know we have one client that use a Chromebook, but you don't use your own Chromebook. They actually send you one. And that client is not hiring right now. I did work for them. It's a very large client. They are into I guess that's the biggest hotel accommodation app out there. And again, guys, you know, the policy is they don't want me to expose the client's name, but once you get into the system, you'll see the clients that I'm referring to. But it's just that, you know, they don't allow me to expose their names during the webinar. I don't know why, but I guess it is what it is. I'm just following the instructions. So I kind of like name them by industry. All right. So yeah, so go ahead and, like I said, let me see how many people we have. So admin, just please keep track on the 5 people that are applying, so that I can do my one-to-one. And then this is just me, you know, going through the process with you and babysitting you just to make sure that you have a success rate of 100%, you know, because I've been doing this for almost 5 years now. So Mino, I would apply, but I have only a Chromebook laptop. Yeah, Mino, you probably need to get a computer. I mean, you can maybe see a family member can let you use theirs, and then once you start getting paid, you get your own. That's what I would do, because I would not let that stop me. Personally, that's what I would do. If you don't wanna invest up front, I understand, but maybe find a family member that can let you use their laptops and start working, do the training, and you know, once you start getting paid, then just get a desktop. Nowadays, you could get a desktop for like $250, like something that's certified, you know, refurbished with screens and all. And so can we use laptop? Yes, we can. You could use a laptop. You can. Let me go to the Q&A section. Do we have any questions in the Q&A? All right, so we don't. Can you use your personal phone, or does it have to be a home phone? You can use a voice over IP now, but you cannot use a cell phone, because what happened is, what if, you know, when you're talking to the customer, you get another call and all, so you're not allowed to use cell phones. You can use a voice over IP phones like Vonage, Xfinity, something from your cable company. Do someone need to be 100% fluent in English to work? Well, you don't have to be fluent. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm fluent. I guess people can understand me. So you have to be able to speak English, because we're getting clients from the US. So you have to be able to communicate effectively. I hope that answers the question. All right, so how do I get one call? So Elaine, that's fine. I'll put you on the 5. So you can go ahead and click on the link, the Calendly link, and you can schedule that call with me. Choose a time that's good for you. I think I'm only doing this. I only do these coaching calls from 3 to 6. Then you can choose the day and the time that's good for you. Patricia, I applied. Patricia, make sure that, guys, if you applied right now, make sure you schedule the call with me, because honestly, you won't regret it. You won't regret it, because I'll help you to get on there 100%. And again, you know, this is something that sometimes, honestly, guys, people call me and they just want this so bad that they're willing on even paying me for my time to kind of like get them through it. So, you know, this is since you know we have a lot of downtime now, that's kind of like how I'm giving back. So I'm not asking you guys to pay me. I just want to make sure that you know you're serious about it. Then I get on the phone with you and get you on board so you can start working like I'm working, and I'm able to just you know get some money in. Let's see. Patricia, can I work Saturday, Sunday, and third shift, please? You can work Saturdays and Sundays depending on the client. So before you choose which client you want to work with, there is an info tab. Then you will see the days that are available. For instance, my client, I work for a financial software company, a big financial software company. I'm sure you all guys know of it. Um, they're only available Monday to Friday, and that's perfect for me because I don't want to work weekends. So my client is only Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. So that means I can only schedule myself in between that time, Monday to Friday between 9 and 11. So Lena, it depends on the client. So if that's what you want, then you have to click on the info tab once you are in the system and see if they offer Saturday and Sundays. Most of our clients do. Roadside assistance, they do. The home improvement, they do. So a lot of them do have weekends. So Lena, if you, I'm pretty sure we have it. No worries. I'm in the presentation right now, so I'm not able to go to the applications right now, but no worries. If you did it, you click submit, you got to the next screen, then we have it. How do I schedule a call? Patricia, you can click on the link. You see where it says calendly.com. Admin, go ahead and post that again. Calendly.com, you can use that to book the call with me. All right, guys, any more questions? Because I want to answer your questions. Can we use laptop? Yes, you can use laptop, but what I always recommend, and I did that in the past, because let's say you're gonna work for 4 hours. So to me, using a laptop alone, it's kind of like tiring. So what I did in the past with my laptop, I bought like a regular keyboard and mouse, you know, from Walmart. And then I plugged into the my laptop. So which gave me like, you know, like a much larger keyboard for me to work. Because a lot of time the laptops, like the keyboards are a little bit small. I mean, I don't know, I have big hands. So that's what I did. And what I did also, because I love like dual screens. I love having two monitors. As a matter of fact, now I have three, but at least dual monitors. So what I did in the past, I plugged in an extra monitor to my laptop, so which gave me like a dual screen. So you don't have to do that, but it's recommended. So basically we need a desktop, a computer, mic. No, you need a headset. Um, Dang it, I forgot. So I forgot to add that slide about the equipment. So you need a headset that you can pick up from Walmart for $20. Some of them are $10, but I bought mine from Walmart, $20. It's a Plantronics. It's a USB headset. That's what you need. And a desktop is better because you spend so much time. I mean, you know, you're gonna work for a couple of hours. So having two monitors, I mean, I'm the kind of person that I like to be comfortable when I'm working. So a desktop is it's much better than a laptop. But you can always use a laptop to get started, get some money in. Once you start getting paid, then you know you use some of your money, you buy yourself a better computer. So you don't have to do you know, a big investment up front. That's just a smart way of doing it. So that's what I would do. So is the training paid training? Listra, the first part of the training is not paid. The second part and the third part are paid training, right? So the first part is usually a week or two. You are in a live classroom with an instructor and other students. Then the second part is still training, but you get on the phone with customers. And then of course you get a lot of coaching because you're pretty new from that point on. Call as scheduled. Great. Hector. All right, Hector. I just answered your questions. Any more questions, guys? Any have midnight work? Not a lot, Patricia. Honestly, we don't have a lot of clients that have overnight shift. Only a few. I think the roadside assistance clients do, but they're not a lot. They're not a lot. I haven't seen a whole lot. I mean, we do have a few, but you would have to keep an eye and see whenever one comes around. But we don't have a whole lot of them. I guess the reason why is because when you're working, um, we have to make sure that we have supervisors in the chat room to support you because you're never alone when you're working because you might be stuck on a call. You might have this one upset customer that needs like, a call back from a supervisor. So, I guess this is why we don't have that many. Live classroom, does that mean we'll be able to see each other on video? No, it's a live classroom, meaning that you have a live teacher, but they don't have to see you. Never, never, never. They'll never ask you that. Oh, and also, guys, I know some of you because I know we're dealing with this pandemic right now, and I know it's pretty uncertain time right now. Also, um, you know, you have to work in a quiet environment, so you cannot have kids, crying in the background, dogs barking. I mean, up until right now, people when they call, they don't know that we're home. I mean, right now it's different, but I don't know. I don't think the company is gonna change the policy. So you have to, the background has to sound like, pretty professional. So make sure that you don't have any dogs in the background and any kind of like noise that's not office related, right? Again, since I know right now it's not easy. I have my cousin, she called me, she wanted to sign up and I told her what's going on and she has a 1-year-old that will not leave her alone. I mean, she has a 12-year-old, but I'm like, can your 12-year-old babysit the 1-year-old? He's like, no, I already know it's not gonna happen. Even if I lock myself in the room, he's gonna start crying like crazy, and the house is pretty small, and the noise is pretty much going to interfere. So she's like, then I'll wait. I guess if something comes up, if school reopens, then she'll sign up for it. Um, so yeah, so no, like people don't have to, your instructor don't have to see you on video, but you have to be present in front of the class, and in front of the computer, because sometimes you're gonna get, they're gonna ask you questions. So she might just call your name. Of course, you need a mic because you'll need to talk. You'll need to answer, either by typing or you need to talk, so that the teacher can hear you and the other students can hear you. Um, are there any headset you can recommend that cancels noise? Yeah, Listra, I just didn't go fancy. Um, you can do your own research. I can help you with that, but honestly, I use a very simple one that I got from Walmart. It cost me about $20. It's a Plantronics. I know that's a pretty good brand, but of course, I mean, you can go as fancy as you wish. But I just didn't want to spend that much. I guess eventually I will, but I haven't done so. And I keep saying that I will, but I keep on buying, the same type of headset because it works. Usually, like I have one room that's where I work, and I usually don't have any noise, so I keep myself separate from the rest of the family while I'm working. Um, all right, Tabitha, that's fine. You can send me a message on Facebook, and then we'll connect. Guys, any more questions? I want to answer your questions. Then again, like I said, if you're ready to work and want to get started, the link is on the screen. It's a very simple application process. And then, we'll send you the rest of the process that you need to do via email. How do I set up the headset? Do I need to buy printing, scanning? No. You don't need a printer, you don't need a scanner, you don't need a fax machine. No, you don't need none of that. The headset is a USB headset. You pretty much just plug it in into the computer just like you do for your mouse or your keyboard, Lena. You don't need to print anything. Remember, this is virtual, so you don't need to hand any paperwork to your customer or to your manager, whatever. So everything is pretty much remote, so you don't need that. I mean, I have a printer, just me personally, when I want to print things, but doesn't really have to do with the job. So, I mean, of course, I think everybody should have a printer, in case you might want to print something. But for the job, you don't. You don't need that. You don't need that. How can you link the headset to an Xfinity phone line via your computer? I'm a little confused. Yes, so for the headset for the phone. So I mean, first I'm answering Michelle. Some of the clients, you actually, that's why you need to check on the info tab first. For instance, for my client, I don't even use a phone at all. They provide like a software phone in their system. So my headset is plugged into my computer and the calls come through the computer. Not every client are like that, but a few of them are. So you don't need, some of the clients, you don't need a phone at all. Again, like I said, for my client, I have my headset plugged into the computer. When I log into their system, I get the calls through their system. Now, if you're gonna use a phone, then of course what you'll do is, if you have a USB headset, there's usually like a little converter that you can use. You can plug it on the phone that has a regular like headphone jack, or you can plug it into the computer with the USB. So that's a great question, but you have to check first because sometimes you don't even need a phone line, depending on which client you're going to service. Will there be a guide to assist the customer whatever issue they are calling about? You're welcome, Michelle. So will there be a guide, that's Claudine, will there be a guide to assist the customer with whatever issue they're calling about? Do you get those resources in the certification class? Of course, Claudine. You get access to a lot of the client resources because of course that's how you're gonna be able to do your job because otherwise you wouldn't know. So you get access to, and some of the clients, I mean, a lot of our clients, their processes are well documented. Like my client, I love them. They are so organized. And when I get a question from a customer and I'm not sure, I can just type the topic, and most of the time I'll get an article about what I requested. And of course, if I don't get an answer from the articles, I can go to chat and ask them. And of course, guys, don't go to chat first. Go to your system. Follow instructions. Um, because I pretty much got dinged for doing that. So yeah, go to your resources and then go to the chat. And sometimes you can go to level 2. So for instance, for the client that I service, I would go to chat first, and then chat would either answer my question. If they cannot, then they'll tell me to go to level 2, and then level 2 it's another button that I can click, which get me to like a level 2 person that I can chat with, and sometimes I can just transfer the customer to them. If it's something simple, they tell me what it is, and I pretty much resolve the issue myself. But since we deal with financial clients, so it depends on what it is. Sometimes I have to transfer it to level 2 because sometimes it has to do with payroll that they need help with. So it gets into details into like banking information and stuff. So but yeah, to answer your questions, you get access to the resources. You get access to everything that you need to do the job. So they're not asking, nobody's expecting you to know what to do for any other clients because it's the first time you're gonna be working for these clients. So you're not expected to know anything prior to your training. Lena, here in Maine, Spectrum is the IEP internet provider. Would that be a problem? Does it have to be Xfinity only? No, 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 no. Any internet. It doesn't matter who's your internet provider. It doesn't matter at all. So it's not internet specific. As long as you could get to the internet, it doesn't matter. Comcast, AT&T, Xfinity, IEP, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, we can't even tell. I mean, I don't think they can tell because all you have to do is be able to get online. So that's it. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap this up? Any other questions for me? The link to apply is still on the screen. More than likely, I will follow up with you guys tomorrow, and the people that have a coaching call with me, I will reach out depending on which time you choose. Regarding the languages, Debbie, tell me, Debbie. You have a question about languages? Tell me what your question is. You have a question, specific question for me? Do they have a special way for employees who speak more than one language? I don't think so, but it's just that, of course, if you speak that language, then you can select that client. Nobody else can. So I guess it's a plus for you to be able to work with that client. I know they have bonuses. I don't know if it has to do with the language. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but it's just a plus. I don't know if they have special rates just because of the language. Maybe they do, because I see one of our agents, he service a roadside assistance client, and then he's in an English Spanish queue, and I see that he get bonuses all the time, but I don't know really. That's a good question. I'll do some research about that. I know he get bonuses all the time. I don't know if it's because of the performance or if it's because of the language. Any other questions, guys, regarding the bonuses? Do you have more info? Okay, yeah, I'll find out, Debbie. And then, did you apply? I mean, I'll see your name and I'll reach out to you. Did you apply already, Debbie? I'll follow up with you, because if you apply, then I have your email and I will email you. Let me actually write this down. That's a good question. I will find out for you. My background is on the way. All right, awesome, awesome. Um, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I'm gonna call it a day or a night. Actually, it's 9:26, so let's give you like I guess a minute or two. Anybody else have questions? Lena, I think you have a question. Listra, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I will reach out to you, Listra. Lena, what is your question? I'll be more than happy to answer. And guys, again, you have it easy. Go ahead and jump in. How do I apply for the background check? Lena, you have to, we're gonna send you an email with the steps. So step number 1 is to do this application. Then we're gonna send you an email with screenshots on what to do with the next step. So you'll get the email. Check your spam. Sometimes it goes to spam, your spam folder. And if not, you can email us. We could resend it again right away. we're very responsive because the whole team is pretty much that's all we do now. That's all we do. We pretty much work from home and support agents. So we're super responsive these days. Super responsive. Any other questions? Any other questions? Are you guys ready to get started? Questions for me, guys? Questions? Debbie, can't wait. Yeah, I know. Awesome. Like I'm sure you'll like it, you know. And again, if you start working with a client, you kind of like don't like what you do, um, you know that you're not tied to just one client. Of course, get a training. Once you start working for that other client, then you can let that one go. It's really up to you. That's kind of like what I did. Now I'm at a client where I'm 100% happy because I'm learning a whole lot about the financial industry, um, invoicing, and a little bit of I kind of like get into some of the details. I mean, not that I have to, but I like the knowledge, and I really enjoy the type of people that I'm helping because I'm helping business owners. I'm a business owner myself, so I can relate to them. I know that they call, they don't understand how the software works sometimes. They're trying to make an invoice and they get into some roadblocks, and it's always a pleasure for me to help them because I kind of like do the same thing that they do, like during the day. So I can relate to them. I've worked with some clients. They were okay, but I didn't really feel like I was enjoying what I was doing. So you have the options to really change clients, the company that you work for, if you wish. So, Michelle, thank you for the invitation. Yeah, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. All right, guys, I don't think we have any more questions. I'm gonna end this the webinar for tonight. I want to thank you all for joining me. I know we have quite a few people on the call still. And guys, if you're ready to work and earn money, go ahead and apply. There's no reason for you not to do so. Um, I'm just gonna be straightforward. If you're not lazy and you need money, you need to apply. If you're lazy, then yeah, this is not for you because we work. That's all we do. We work and we get paid. That's all it is. There's no secret behind it. Um, and of course, we're there to guide you to get into the system. I didn't have that when I started. I kind of like had to figure things out on my own. So you honestly, guys, you'll have it the easy way. So all right, guys, I'm gonna end the recording. It's 9:30. Thank you so much. Be safe out there. I know we're living a very uncertain time right now. It's very scary. And me, honestly, I cannot sleep at night. I don't know. I guess people deal with this differently. For me, is that I cannot sleep. 4 or 5 in the morning, my eyes are just wide open. I usually catch some sleep by like 5:36, and then by 9 o'clock, I'm already up. Um, I don't know. Like that's I guess that's how I'm coping with this. So, and of course, I'm staying safe. You guys stay safe. It's not a joke. Things are pretty crazy, and I'm pretty sure it's temporary, and then we'll get through this. Um, it's like life is so weird now, but stay positive. Like I was telling my friend earlier, at least after this, I know that I'll be a lot smarter because I've been reading books a whole lot, doing whole lot of readings. I have been learning a whole lot. I go to Udemy, sign up for some courses. I'm learning a little bit about sales. I'm learning a little bit about different things that I always wanted to. I just at some point I just never had the time because I was always on the go, helping my clients. Um, so now that I have the time, I'm really using that time, and I understand not everybody can do it that way because people have different ways of dealing with the stress. But if you can, go ahead and do that. Learn something new, learn like a digital skill. Um, I'm pretty sure you can never go wrong with knowledge. So you can never go wrong with knowledge. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am going to end the webinar right now. If you guys have any questions, you can always go to our website and send us an email, send us a message. Um, Again, if you apply, then you more than likely, well, not more than likely, you will hear from me if you applied. Um, then the people that have the one-to-one coaching, I will be reaching out to you to guide you and babysit you through the process, just to make sure that you have 100% success rate. Um, then that's about it. Thank you guys again. You guys have a good night and be safe.